There you have it. It is the nano tank is hanging out. And you see I have the LED lid open. It's really bright when it's down on, so I realized that it's better to have the lid up, the LED shining far away, and then when I go to sleep I usually close the lid and turn the lights off, and I'll just give them some darkness. But yeah, these fish have been hanging out. This is Fizzy Bubbly. It's and then Mochaccino. That's Mochaccino. He's a Mocha Storm Clown, and then the other one's just a Orange Storm Clown. But yeah, he's been taking laps, launching himself through the current. It's going round and round, and I think he's having fun. I don't think he's stressed out. I think it's part of his little route he's taking. But he's really good at it. Yeah, he comes in and says hi. I mean, he just sees probably the lens on the phone. He doesn't, and maybe me coming up. But hopefully he's not stressed out. The other one seems it's a lot older and mature, so it kind of just hangs out, and you can tell it's been in the tank a lot longer, and so it knows how to handle the situation. The younger one's a little excited, I think. There it's coming in. But yeah, it's a lot of fun watching these two little fish. I'm gonna. Hopefully this one's happy too. It's hard to know. But all in all, the tank's looking okay. I tested it twice today before I put him in, did a water change, but I am going to do one more test tonight. This Mochaccino is freaking me out with his little laps. What you doing, Mochaccino? What the hell are you doing? This one's just hanging out. They like to hang on the top right there. Pretty cool. Look how fast he goes. He literally whizzes around. I'll show you his route. So, let's see where he is. I'm afraid he's going to jump out of the tank, to be honest. So he goes... That time he went in front of it. Sometimes he goes over the back and then comes through in between the scraper and then the launcher. Here he comes again. Honestly, I think he likes it. I'm pretty sure he likes it. I'm not sure. I kind of was thinking maybe he's just like scared and he keeps on running into it, but who knows? Yeah. The other one is just chilling. The other one doesn't move nearly as fast. It's just hanging out. And I was worried about oxygen, and I do have some surface agitation going, so, and I'm running a skimmer, some bubbles in there, and there's soaps in there, so there's obviously oxygen being generated, but I was worried about that stuff. Yeah. Pretty cool. The lighting, the iPhone makes the lighting on this pretty cool with that blue light. It's actually pretty radical. I haven't zoomed in or anything yet. Let's see what the lens can do. Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to sleep tonight. First night having them. I've had fish in the past, and it always sucks when you wake up and there's a dead fish. But I think they're happy. They're two different size fish, and they act differently. Like the big one's a lot more calm. The little one's kind of like frantic, swing around, but it might just have a lot more energy. I don't know. less mature. But they seem to be hanging out and together and cool, and then the little one will go off and yeah. Mochaccino, you cool, man? You cool, Mocha? Yeah, I think we're cool. You know, it's actually looking at the tank and then looking on the camera. The camera picture looks better than the actual picture I'm seeing. It's kind of dark, but this lightens it up. So it's actually it's really fun to film the fish. This is actually the first time I've appreciated the camera quality of this phone. Let's see. It's hanging out in the back there. Super cool footage. I'm really glad I went and got these guys today. They weren't like a mated pair. They were in two different tanks. One was in a coral tank, one was in like, the smaller one was in a tank of 3 of these guys, little ones, and then the other one was in like a frag tank. So they get along together, but they didn't really know each other before today, if that makes sense. I don't really know if that affects a duo. I think if it was a group of fish, they get thrown around all together all the time. But then seeing like 2 fish kind of like get to know each other and realize that they're gonna live together in a tank is a different story. There he goes. I just want to film this guy for a little bit from this angle. Let's see how fast he goes through that wave. Is this hanging out? Ooh. He likes the corner piece. I think like the corner pieces they do when you look at them, it kind of like obscures the object. So I'm sure whenever he swims by it, whenever he's looking at it gets bigger. So he because he always seems to come back and look through this little obscured angle here. You're right. Fizzy Bubbly. Fizzy Bubbly's super cool. I'm gonna call her a girl because she's so big, but it could just be a big male. But she has lips. She actually has I don't know. She's such a diva. You'll see her in the morning. She has these little pink lips on her, and he doesn't. He just has this really profound spot on his right side. So I'm definitely getting attached to these fish, so I can't let them die. And I'm putting corals in here along with a few other fish. So it's gonna be really fun. This biotank. I don't want to put too much of the BioCube, but one little cool little bonus is I have a refrigerium set up. It's actually running separately right now, but it's going to be eventually. I'm gonna figure out how to attach these two. I like the idea of. I do see the value of having like the lid off and a light higher. You're a little bit more like in touch with like the tank and a part of it, versus when the lid's on you tend to forget about it, but it's open you go over to a lot more, especially check on your fish. So I think it has more of a ownership kind of like relationship to your fish a little bit more. In the past, you used to like just cover them up for making them quiet, but now there's pumps that do a better job. So yeah, so this is so far this is going to be. Let me move my box here. I think my angle for this tank is I want to do something that is super compact but packs a huge punch with a lot of cool things. So I didn't really talk about the skimmer. This is an original skimmer, the BioCube, and I don't really know if I set it up right. I know I'm supposed to look for the big bubbles, and I may have to turn this down a little bit. It keeps on changing angles, but I did find a suction cup, and then I'll show you what I did here. I ended up bending the little thing that sits on the wall there, because we cut it out to put the intake little gateway or this little runway here for all the water. I ended up bending this outward, and when it's outward, it kind of sticks in front of this, and it actually kind of forces this and kind of locks in behind it, and it makes like this. It makes it really pretty solid. Like, this isn't going anywhere, so I don't have to worry. As long as the water levels on here don't change, whatever level this is will stay like this, and it's pretty solid. And that's one of the biggest things that I've kind of read, and what I've experienced with this thing is it kind of bobbing around because there's buoyancy in the bubbles that it makes within the chamber there. So you have to figure out ways to lock it down. So I have one suction cup, and then I have this little like plastic thing kind of jamming this in, and so it also helps this. I will say another thing I'm doing in the back, which I'm not 100% sure it's gonna hurt anything, but I think it's okay, is I end up putting some really cool Biomax stuff in. It's not Biomax, it's I'll actually show you for the rabbit. Alright, let's see. Oh. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. I'll actually bring it up in the light. So this is some biomatter stuff. Oh crap, I just dropped it in the tank. Damn. Hopefully it's waterproof. But there you have it. I put it in the back, and it looks pretty good. It's gonna actually help a lot with the environment of this. But what I was getting at is I only had 3 chambers in the back, and I wanted to keep the stuff I had in there. So I ended up putting the Purigen and the Chemi Pure Elite, stacked them in the 3rd chamber, and I put a whole bag of this biomedia in the 2nd, and then I have Filter Frost pads, these intake pads like the blue and the white combo ones in the 1st one. But I also, down the side here, I put some going down there in that little gap area just to keep it clean, because it was really dirty earlier, and I was concerned about the well-being of this. Oh shit. And I just knocked over a whole bunch of stuff. That's what I get. Alright, get it cleaned up.